Get ready with me while I tell you things I wish I knew before starting my first year of uni. I start my second year in a couple days, so I feel like I'm qualified. If you're nervous about making new friends, it's honestly so easy. Everyone will be feeling a little bit nervous, but just be the one to go and say hi to someone. I made so many friendships from uni just by saying hi. Where you sit in your first class of a course actually matters, because uni's kind of like school. Once you have like your table that you sit at, you kind of stay there for like the whole semester. So sit down at a table where you think you would get along with the people at the table, or one that you believe that you could do a group assignment with the people on the table. One time I went to a class and it was actually our first lesson. The table that I was sat at, my teacher goes, "This is your group for the semester for your group assignment." So keep that in mind. Lectures are not important. If your class doesn't have an exam, I wouldn't even bother about the lecture. Both my classes I had an exam for in the last semester, I watched maybe 3 lectures from each. Especially if in your tutorial workshop, your tutor's just covering the lecture content anyway, don't bother. Unless you're actually going to hand write your notes, don't need a notebook. For note taking, instead of using a notebook, I use OneNote. Create a folder for your first semester, for example. Add a section for all your classes, and every single tutorial or lecture that you want to take notes on, just add a page and write it at the top, and then it will like go by the side, and it's so much easier. It's actually really fun to build relationships with your tutors. So it's really important to know that these aren't teachers. Yes, they're teachers, but they're also people with real world connections. My degree, some of these teachers are accountants, entrepreneurs, people who work in marketing. So build connections with them because they have connections to the real world of the job or the career that you want to take. So if you have access to your assignments, I would be starting them as soon as possible. There's an app called Lost on Campus, and if you haven't downloaded that yet, download it now. If you don't know where a class is, you literally just type it into that app and it will take you straight there. If you don't get lost in the idea of what your friends are doing versus what you want to do, I have a really customizable degree. Like, I have a lot of electives. It can be really easy to fall into this headspace of I'm just going to do what all my friends are doing as electives. Then you're not doing what you want to do and it's your degree. Ask for people's social medias or numbers or whatever you use. Then you're going to be able to communicate with them. You meet someone before class. I only see each other once a week. That way you can actually build proper friendships. Those are some of my tips for when you start uni. Good luck!